It's officially rich, hot CEO summer. This is the plan for the next 90 days to thinking, feeling, executing for a rich and hot CEO summer. Plus, I'm actually bringing you some behind the scenes of what I am actually doing in real time so that you can steal that from me. Summer season is the go-getter season, and I don't think anybody does it better than me. So let's not gatekeep. If you are new, definitely hit the subscribe or follow to the podcast. And if you are not new, then welcome fucking back. Most people are very busy, that like you have a lot of client launches or stuff like that. Like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like summer season it's like the go-getter season. First things first, okay, we need to really think about like, what the hell is your idea of rich, hot CEO summer? Like, what is this era that you are entering, and like, what does that mean to you, right? Because it might not mean the same thing to you as it means to me. Because for me, for example, adding gasoline to the fire, bad bitch energy, and focus. Like, that for me is like the theme of what I am going for and what I think of like rich, hot CEO summer. And listen, I've had this conversation with another woman where, you know, you kind of feel like you have this fire like inside of you. Oh my God, like I just feel like there's just so much more, and you're like, like actually put words into that like untapped potential that you're feeling, then it doesn't just stay a feeling, you can actually execute on it. And so it's not just this feeling of like, oh my God, like I feel like I'm just scratching the surface. Like, you know what I mean? Finding the really specific areas of like where this feeling is coming from specifically. Like, you know, like it's not like, I'm sure like it doesn't cover like every single aspect, right? So it's like, what are the specific areas that like it's feeling like maybe like you know, like you're scratching the surface and you're like annoyed. You're like, okay, no, like okay, I want so much more. And once you get specific about that untapped potential, it's so much easier to execute on it and create a plan around it and be like, oh my God, like this is what the hell is bothering me. Like, for example, let's say one thing I can think about for me is getting so much better at like clearing out my skin. Okay, I know as a matter of fact exactly what breaks out my skin, like what is gonna like not give me that like amazing complexion. Or let's say it's your content and you're like, oh my God, like literally I feel like my content is so not like it's so not what you want it to be. Or like, oh my God, like I'm just scratching the surface. Like I feel like it could be doing so much more for me. Maybe it's like the confidence that like you find when you're talking, it's like just not at its peak. It's like, okay, perfect. Like once you can put to words like what these are, then it's like, okay, now we can do something about it and not like let it linger like this annoying feeler in the back of your head, or like this annoying like mosquito that's like around you, you know what I mean? Because that's what it's doing. Okay, so we are getting so specific. I'm like, what the hell are these areas? Like I remember last summer I was like, want more. I feel like it could be so much more. Like I feel like I'm not scratching my full potential. And then I was like, we can jump into this new mentorship. So I got a new coach and it was amazing. Got around so many women that like we were in this like amazing mastermind. And so like really like getting out of like your usual loop and like putting that feeling into words and being like, okay, like this is what I'm doing. Being around these people that like, give you ideas and like fuel like your fire under your ass. For me with my clients, it's like I'm doing that too. I'm like, okay, let's fucking go, right? Also, I find that like summer, okay, this is where you can really use like this season to like get more creative, get like more of that spark, that magic back into your hands, right? That magic and that like spark and whatnot, like it really lives on the opposite side of pressure. Especially like, you know, if you're entering a season where you're like busy or you want a bigger fire under your ass, you don't want to have so much pressure that it's almost like killing your fire. Knowing what you can do and also knowing what you cannot do. So you know, okay, I'm posting content, I'm posting my podcast, I'm uploading this, I'm delivering clients. If you only know what you are allowed to do or what you should be doing, then it feels like that's the only thing you can do. Like, right? Like you can only do more of those things of like, okay, and do more work, more clients, more this. And then inevitably like you start having more pressure on yourself and you start being more fucking stressed. And that's because there's no bounds of like okay, I can do this, but what am I also allowed not to do? It's not like this infinite loop. You are leading yourself better. Let's say that I am going on a girl walk, and then I'm gonna go on my walk, and then I'm gonna start fucking looking at my emails and shit. When you go on a fucking walk, nothing. Simple stuff like that starts removing the pressure, and then more creativity start pouring in, and also like it fuels to your fire. So that's a little hack that I love to do. Now, speaking of adding gasoline, okay, if you know your group program should be selling faster, hotter, and without the convincing, we are kicking off this summer with a 3-day online event for coaches where we'll be breaking down exactly what actually makes your messaging convert consistently, your offer selling the fuck out without any need for exhausting launches, and your business growing with compounding momentum, not constant hustle. Okay, because at a certain point, it is not about working harder or doing more. It's actually about becoming the obvious fucking choice in a saturated market, which is exactly what I'm breaking down to what actually makes your premium client stop overlooking you altogether and actually get them to decide, I fucking need her, talking about you. And this isn't just me who is going to be in there. We have gathered some of the best in the space into a curated room for the woman who already has a group program and wants to sell it consistently at a higher level. This is happening July 7th to the 9th, 2026. This is for the coach who wants her program to be the very thing, bring in the most amount of fucking money every single time that you log into your bank account, and to become the coach that people literally cannot shut the fuck up about. It's free to join. Grab your seat in the description, show notes, and I will see you there. I really want to get into getting hotter with how you're feeling and thinking. Here's the plan. Here's the thing that I am starting to add into my personal routine. So I started doing hot girl walk, but no, like I have been doing it on another level. Now I'm like doing an hour. Sometimes I'm doing 2 hours, but I'm like in the middle of my work day. And then after that, like at the end of the day, sometimes if it's not too late, then there's not a bunch of mosquitoes. And I have been going on these walks with weight on my hands and my body. This is like a killer workout. Like I feel like that is making me feel like such a bad bitch, and it's getting me into that energy of like how I want to feel about myself. And the next thing, I actually have some classes that I can do when I go downtown. I've been mainly doing Pilates at home on the mat, but I'm like, okay, like I have these classes that I can take downtown, and like it's such a vibe. Like it feels so expensive when I go there. Motion lives in movement, right? Like having more motion, it lives in actually real movement, right? And so that's adding to your energy, and that's creating more motion in your life. Now, the next thing when it comes to adding to your momentum, okay, it's faster decisions. Clarity comes from action, not from actually thinking harder. Okay, this means entering a season where you are trusting your instinct way more for these 90 fucking days. Okay, how can you trust your gut more? How can you not be in your head but actually in your gut, in your body, and be like, yeah, like let's fucking go. Like that is hot thinking. That is hot and rich thinking. All right, right there. One of the things that I've been doing is like, again, like also not just having faster decisions with like the decisions that I'm making, but faster decisions in the sense of like snapping back to what I know I should be doing, or like snapping faster into just being more intentional with my attention, my focus, right? This is something that we've talked about into the episodes from 2 weeks ago, which I'll link down below if you want to tune in after this one, which is the mental load of high achievers. But yeah, definitely being more intentional with your attention and your focus and like your thought process of like where the hell it's going, and is it going to the thing that you're supposed to be doing in the moment, and is it making so that you can make a fast decision regardless. Speaks more volume also to like how disciplined you are being, and like really tapping into the amount of discipline that like you are able to have. And I find that like when you are able to use discipline the least, that is when you are the most disciplined. Let me explain that because it sounds like it doesn't make sense, but I swear it does. The less hard it is to do something without needing discipline, then the less that you need that discipline to do something, but you're actually more disciplined. Can you make it so that being disciplined comes easily to you, so that you don't actually need to rely so much on your willpower, right? Not so much on your willpower and more so on like, you just are creating these circumstances. Okay, let me stop talking about this and now let's actually get into the fucking juicy part, my favorite part. All right, and probably your favorite part too, which is the plan to getting richer this summer. Working in your business, it looks like, you know, doing the usual thing and like kind of like more like maintaining and upkeeping which you have, which is good, which is like what we want, right? Like great. But then you have working on the business, which is like your positioning, the opportunities, your online perception, like your personal brand. But that actually requires, you know, carving out time to do that bird's eye overview and like zooming out and not being so zoomed in. All right. And so that actually requires like putting into your calendar and being like, what is the fucking time that I'm dedicating to that? Because the more that you can kind of like sacrifice kind of like the short-term gain for the long-term vision, the more that you're able to get closer and faster to that long-term vision. Okay. Speaking of calendar, okay, one of the main things that I have been doing, which is really unlike me to do, if I'm being super honest, but I have been setting weekly goals instead of just doing the monthly goals, because this has been my thing for years. But here's the thing, right? I find that like, okay, like this is the time when you want to lock in, okay? I find that it's so much easier to lock the fuck in when you're doing it with these shorter periods of time. And that's not to say to like put something that's like super unrealistic, that like at the end of the week, you're gonna like, it's not even possible for you to like do all that. But I have always been kind of scared, I'd say, to like set more like weekly goals, because of the fact that I guess I was scared that I was gonna like fall short on them. And so it felt safer to do like these monthly goals. But I found that actually it's helping me a lot. Like it's actually helping not only put a fire under my ass, but like show how much more I can raise the bar. We're about to lock the fuck in for these next 9 days into this summer. Then it's like, let's actually do it right. Like let's actually fucking go all in, not fucking hold back. And now when you are setting these goals, okay, that it's like an income goal, a client goal, a milestone goal, or like, I don't know, like, or a physical thing or whatnot, like whatever it is, like you are setting the goal for, it's not so much about pulling these things, these goals out of your ass and being like, there you go, I'm just gonna get this done in a week, right? Like it's really like looking at your data and like at your past data, and then like looking at like, okay, what can be the goal for this week that like I am raising the bar, and like it feels like it's like challenging me. It's based on my own data point. It's not based on someone else's data point. It's not based on I am pulling this out of my ass, right? That it's like for your launch, for your client, your income, your life, like these milestones or whatnot, like it's actually like coming from you. And also when you're looking at your calendar, right? Like you can look at like, what are the things that are making it so that you're task switching too much? That was a thing for me too, that like was really killing my, I don't know, like it was killing my fire, right? Like, I don't know, like it was killing my fire because there was too much shit, like mental fatigue in my head. And like, I didn't want that. I was like, okay, like let's do less task switching. And I started doing theme days, and like it changed my life. Now, of course, one of my favorite part, binge-worthy content. Okay, you already know I talk a lot about binge-worthy content and how binge-worthy content is the fucking shit that sales. So listen, remember when I said at the beginning of this episode, what the hell does it mean for you to enter that rich, hot CEO summer? And I want to bring this back to your content, right? To the content that you're going to be creating, the ideas that you're going to be putting out there for the next 90 days. This is going to be what I'm going for. Like, this is going to be what I'm going for. For you, you can decide like, what the hell is the direction, the intention that I'm like putting under my content. And so for me, like I said, it's adding fire to the adding gasoline to the fire, bad bitch focus, right? And so bad bitch energy focus, right? And so when I'm thinking of my content, like I'm adding that into my content. Like, that's going to be like the fucking thing under my content, right? And so I know, as a matter of fact, that I want my content or everything that I'm doing with my clients to literally be giving like bad bitch on a yacht and like other bad bitches there too. And honestly, like, we need a minimal viable standard for the content for the summer. Okay, it's like, what the hell is the standard that it's like being set in stone? So, you know, maybe you are like in a season where you need to be posting more because you're like, okay, I need to get more confident talking on the camera. Or maybe on the other end of that, which is like posting better and really like seeing, okay, like the really honing down on like the shit that, you know, like people really love that like you post, or like your clients really love that you post, and actually focusing on the areas that matters. Okay, so what the hell the areas that matters for your content? Story, reels, or like on TikTok or whatnot, and podcasting. So these are really like the main shit that I would like focus on, and really tie that with like your viable standard. Like, what is the like standard that you are setting that like, you know, okay, like you're fucking locking in. You're fucking locking in because you know how much leverage you want to be creating. And I'm just gonna say it, okay? Someone used to say it, but for the content, for the binge-worthy content, the focus is going to be having more clarity around your content over making it complex and like overthinking every idea if it's like the most original shit ever. Honing in on the exact specifics and the exact elements that makes you the obvious fucking choice time and time and time again. And I'm not leaving you to figure this out all by yourself. We're actually hosting a 3-day online event for coaches. If you are a coach and you have a program in which you know should be selling so much fucking more for you, and you know you want your fucking program to be the very thing that brings you the most amount of fucking money, that gets your premium clients sold and saying yes before you even fucking get on a sales call, this is the space that you want to be in. Grab your seat. This is going to be linked in the description show note. I will see you inside of there. And if you know someone that she absolutely needs to be in the fucking room with us, then send her this episode, and literally cheers to making this your best fucking era yet, okay? Thanks so much for tuning in, and don't forget to leave your 5-star rate and review on the podcast. I love to know what you guys think of the episodes, and I will meet you here next week.